Hi, we're back. I'm Alison Poland, and I am here for another 15 minutes to learn how to live smarter with you. Today, I have just an inspirational person that I want you to meet. Her name is Tabitha Scott. Tabitha Scott, you may have seen the book that I posted on Facebook today. It's that alone is an inspirational book, but I want you to actually meet her. Tabitha Scott is a speaker, and she is an author, and she is just a phenomenal mind on energy. And so today we're going to really, really focus on what energy, innovation, sustainability is, and how we can live smarter through her words. So hello, Tabitha.
Hi, it's good to see you, Alison. How are you?
Great. So I threw a lot of words out there, but today we're going to focus on energy. We've had some wonderful conversations about energy is what makes us. Energy, it's something that we use, we are, and we pay for. So on all those levels, there's just a lot of smart things I think we could all do better. And so I'm going to ask you that question. What does living smarter mean to you?
Yeah, I think it means a lot of things to me. And we first met when we were doing some projects over a decade ago, some of the first net zero communities in the US. So we've been doing this for a while. And to me, living smarter is thinking about energy in all aspects of our life. It's not just turning the lights off when you leave, but it's what kind of car are you driving? Recently, I downsized and moved to a condo downtown. So I walk to the grocery, to the restaurants. I haven't put very many miles on my car at all this year. And so I have an energy bill that's about $20 a month, about the price of a pizza. Wow. So yeah, it's it's about, thinking through the things in your life as well as the things you may not think about with energy, like the foods you eat. It takes a lot more energy to eat like meats, like beef and pork, for example. And I do love a good steak, by the way. But I do vegan for breakfast and lunch just to help reduce my carbon footprint, because that's something that I can do personally to help.
That's a great term. And it's kind of fun to say, carbon footprint.
Yeah.
So we kind of deal with that world, but let's define it for a second. What does carbon footprint mean?
What carbon footprint means to me is, what impact are we making on the world in a negative way? Carbon is not a bad thing. Intrinsically, we're made of it. But I think because carbon is an easy gas to measure, and because it is created by the burning of fossil fuels, it's just an easy way to kind of explain to people the impact we're having on the environment. And you have to think about it in terms of something simple so that everybody can understand how to make a difference.
When we worked together a while back and we were working on some of those zero energy homes, I remember the concept of having a carbon footprint sign. How much a building is using was, I was like, really? Just like ingredients on a cereal box, you can tell the carbon footprint. And now that's more of a norm. Some people might ask what it is, but we're all kind of used to that terminology. So now taking us to sort of this concept of energy and electricity and even the lightning we were kind of talking about, kind of taking it to the next level on how we can live smarter. For those of you that haven't, you got to check her book out. But and I know I know she doesn't necessarily want me to plug her book, but it's just very inspirational. But I just want to hear from your words, sort of how that translates, because you're right. It's not just how you use it and how you save money. There's a whole connection to it that I think that everybody really wants to hear from you.
Thank you. When I think of energy, it goes beyond just the electrical energy and the engineering work that I used to do when we developed, like we did the world's largest solar array at Fort Bliss on rooftops there. But taking that energy and realizing that we as humans are also made of that same electricity. Quantum science shows that we are energy. And so, what kinds of things make us happy and what keep us positive? Literally, it's all goes back to energy. One of the things that I also do technology strategy for a company now as my day job. And one of the things that is really important to change habits and get adoption on these smart ideas is to leverage technology. So you get people bought into, hey, I'd love to put timers on things, or you get them bought into the idea, but then you automate the heck out of everything you can.
That's a good point. Okay, I'm following with that. So, in thinking of a tip, you've already offered a couple of insights there, but what would be a good tip to kind of share today as we're talking about maybe something that, whether it's technology oriented, because we're all between homeschooling and just our lives right now, we're stuck indoors on a lot of levels. So, what is something practical that we could all do to maybe kind of help that connection between us and the internal energy and the external energy?
Yeah, some of the aha things that we learned when we were working with large commercial residential developments were that a lot of your energy comes from your hot water. So check out maybe reducing the temperature on that hot water.
Okay.
Your lighting is something that you can put timers on. If you're not there, there's no reason to have the lights on all the time. And if you own your own home, a little tidbit I learned when I was finishing up my certified energy manager work was, if you put your HVAC unit, your condenser unit outside in the shade, if you build shade around it, then you actually reduce your energy consumption if you're in warmer climates like we are. So little things like that, and don't use black asphalt shingles.
Oh, so I need to change my project right now. I've been building something for you. Don't listen.
You're
No,
joining.
um, no, I absolutely get it, because the heat effect, correct? Because it just generates that heat and makes everything in that area warmer than it should be.
And it's not one size that fits all, because if you're in Michigan, you do want to do them, but in Nashville, you don't do it.
So, but just on that one thought, people might be like, well, white will get dirty. So we're talking about, just don't go black, like go gray.
Yeah, flex, you can get gray, or you can get black with reflective chip.
Okay.
So reflect it off. Don't let it absorb. If you just use the traditional black asphalt, it will just soak it in. Like if you walk around on a black asphalt road when you're outside in the summer, it's the same thing.
And not to mention what that does to just, I mean, the impact of that on the immediate environment, of course, that has its own impact, because between what won't grow there then, and then what animals won't grow there, it kind of goes on and on. No, that's a wonderful impact. So what, now flipping on the other side, is there something that you don't do, or something that you wish you would do more of, under sort of that same umbrella?
Yeah, I would love to build a net zero energy home. I don't know where I want to live yet. So once I figure that out long term, then I would love to build that. So I need to get you on board to do it for me.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's and speaking of that, I remember when we worked on some of those projects, there were some really neat. There's different levels of zero energy homes, but there was those panels, almost like the heart of the home, where the people could actually, who lived in the home, could manage when they did laundry, when, what made sense, and all that data was collected. That to me just seems, well, I know personally my kids would be all about that if they could see the money being saved as they were doing different things at different times.
Yeah. And it's interesting. One of the projects that we did with some communities in the Southeast, 11 different communities, we used smart meter data to tease apart what the habits were that were creating those energy sinks. And then we leverage the Internet of Things to do artificial intelligence on the back end and say, what kinds of habit cues should we send this person right at the time it's happening? And then, the AI on the back end said, okay, do more tips like this, it's working. Do less like this, it's not working. And we reduced the energy consumption 15% in the homes with no retrofits.
Wow.
Yeah, leverage the heck out of technology. And, the habits are a lot harder to change than implementing technology.
Oh, no, I think that's absolutely, um, no, and that's why we're here, because hopefully we're changing a little something for everyone today, right?
Yeah.
I know personally I'm going to repick the shingles that I just selected, but but a lot of other things too. Just the way that we're thinking about energy on a daily basis and how it impacts our mood.
Yeah.
So, of course, I keep talking about your book, but what are you up to? What is on your plate?
Well, I'm currently recording the audiobook. The first, I got it out in print, and it's at barnesandnoble.com and Amazon and the usual outlets, Apple Book, um, Google Book. But for me, it's about getting the word out to people that, we have all the energy we need. It sounds cliche because we're talking about renewable energy,
Sure.
but we do have a source of renewable energy, and how to tap into that, how to avoid burnout. And for me, it's just the passion of getting it out there to help other people not burn out.
Well, fantastic. And I just thank you so much for being part of this experience and for growing our library. I'm going to be coming to you time again as we refine our buildings and as we're doing more in the communities that we live in. So,
You got it.
Tabitha, it's an honor to have you here.
Hey, it's an honor to be here, and it's always fun to help. So thank you very much for having me.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
absolutely. Thank you. All right, guys. We now learned about energy. So to take you through, I've already kind of exposed you to my previous guest who kind of taught us how to balance life and work. Today, we really focused on some tangible energy, thoughtful tips on how to live smarter and work with what we have, and how to use energy a little bit better. Please check her book out. It's on my Facebook page. And then next week, yes, I'm keeping this coming. I have a lineup for you guys that I've worked hard to do. I have a guest who is not just a featured guest, but he will be collaborating with me in the sidelines and doing some product testing with me. Evan Farmer, and Evan Farmer wears a lot of hats. He most currently is president of a company called The Building Barn. You can check that out. But among that, he's just a really good. He's been a great inspiration to me to keep building, and he's also had a lot of experience, especially with TV shows in the past. If you ever saw While You Were Out, that kind of dates me, but you'll recognize him when he comes on. So that is Thursday. And I thank you so much for your time and for checking us out. And I will keep coming back. Bye.